A pad, scrap of paper, or perhaps most fittingly, a journal will prove to be an invaluable tool you will not regret having beside you on your journey. And again, this is why this game is so cool. I don't know if this is a hint when the font of the wording changes to like cursive more than like blocky text. Everything in this fucking game is a hint. The paintings are a hint. I said it before, but these like refer to a later on thing. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I remember how like this one. Yeah, I do. Okay, I remember what this one is. But yeah, it's insane the level of detail they put into this game and how many puzzles it actually has hiding. How's it going, everyone? This is Galahalt Gaming, and welcome to Blueprints. Now, Gavin, if you're watching this, you may be wondering why I'm playing this game. I have played this game before. I'm aware that this is one of those games that is best going into it blind. However, I wanted to show it off a little bit. I wanted to make this its own series on the channel. I wanted to give something to this game because it is such an amazing puzzle game. I am a sucker for puzzle games. So we're going to be starting on a new profile for the channel itself. And this is going to partially serve as a guide for like the first half of the series. And then later on, when we get to the parts that I haven't solved yet, that's when you're going to see me sort of struggling a little bit. God, the atmosphere in the game, too. That's another thing. They fucking nailed the atmosphere for this game. Just clearing off my desk a little bit. I was working on homework earlier. Which this is our character.
Dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate.
And this is like the main draw of this game. You need to figure out where the 46th room is.
From all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse.
Yeah, so that is the story of the game. Yeah, I'll let him finish his spiel and then we'll talk about the game itself.
March 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
So, the goal of this game, you have been given a manor in the will of your great uncle. The problem is the only way you can keep this manor is if you can find the 46th room of a 45-room estate. The entire thing was kept secret from all of the staff. And the thing that complicates things is every time you return to the manor, because you have a certain number of steps you can take each day, each step representing one room. Each time you return to the inside of the manor, the layout of it changes. So first off, open only in the event of my death. Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did in those lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of the bequest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print of my will that I feel I should bring to your attention. 1. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. 2. Tools and items found on the estate may not be taken off the estate. 3. You may not stay within the estate overnight. I don't suspect that any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself, but it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of your previous day. One final word of advice: don't assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half a century, and even I am uncertain of which room lies beyond any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, don't go where the path leads, abandon the path and go where you want it to lead. With all my love and wishes, best of luck, Herbert S. St. Clair. So again, that is the draw of this game. And already, by the way, this is me speaking from experience, our puzzle has already started involving these paintings that I will get into when we find the room that relates to them. Just know that this piece of shit puzzle did give me the hardest time for a long time. And also we get the blueprint, which this shows you the layout of your current manor. This resets every day, but it shows you what all rooms you have drafted, which we will get into the draft now. So first off, searching the estate can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room, you lose 1 footstep. We start the day with 50. And when you no longer have any footsteps left, you will be too tired to continue and must call it a day. When you call it a day, the manor resets. You start from the entrance hall again. But anyway, let's go ahead and open up our first room. This is what I was referring to, by the way, when I said draft. Whenever you open a door in this game, it will present you 3 rooms that could possibly be behind the door you're trying to enter. You pick one of them, and just like that, that's the door you enter. So like I said, I picked hallway there, so it pops out into this like 3-branch room. If I open up the map, hallway appears right next to the entrance hall, right where I drafted it. So doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked. We will go over this note later when I find something else that tells you what it's for. Now, I think with this I want to take storeroom. Because supplies early on in the game are going to be very nice, and it's also just good general practice to draft dead end rooms early on in the day so you get them less and less as you advance. Just as a general rule of thumb, whenever you're playing this game, try to draft dead end rooms on like the edges of the map. Unfortunately though, and you can also open up the map whenever you're like looking at what room to draft. You could go corridor here, keep the left wing open, because we already know we can get here from the entrance hall, so let's do corridor. Which some rooms, I will say, also have like special effects. For example, the corridor here, both doors are always unlocked, which we will get into that later on when we run into a locked door. That's what I was looking for, pantry. That gets us off to the left and lets us continue down the left edge. There's something along the left edge that I'm specifically looking for. But there are a couple of different supplies in the game that I haven't explained yet. There are keys, which are used for locked doors and chests. There are gemstones, which are used to draft rarer rooms. And then there are coins, which are used to buy stuff in the manor. Don't ask me why there are shops in the manor. I could not tell you. So, this node just tells you like what all fruit you can find within the manor. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. We just ate a banana, so every one of these gives you a bit of steps back whenever you find one, so it's just good to keep in mind. Just explaining each of the mechanics of the rooms as I go, trying to give like as good of a tutorial as I can. Also, there's another one there. There we go. Yeah, see, it gives me 3 steps back. And that is actually perfect for me. The West Wing Hall is a perfect draft here, because this gives me a T shape here. I'm wanting a dead end here. I don't get it, unfortunately. We'll grab the den so we get another gem. But that sucks, so that gets rid of one of our really good tea rooms. Nothing else in the den doesn't look like. That's another thing as well. If you draft a room that leads to a dead end, it will just block off the door like this. So you can't like bust new pathways out. Ooh, secret passage. Do I want to grab that already? No, because I think the place I'm looking for isn't a particular color. I think it's a blue, actually. And you can't draft blue rooms from the secret passage. That's another thing. Like, rooms have different colors. Like, you'll see the purple rooms are mostly, like, bedrooms and stuff. The way they work is they usually give you back footsteps whenever you enter them. There's a couple of different other kinds. Oranges are usually, like, hallways. Blue rooms are sort of the miscellaneous. You've seen a red room earlier. That was the laboratory. Those are usually like negative effect rooms. Ooh, drawing room's pretty good here. Now, there is a puzzle in the drawing room. I am not going to reveal what that puzzle is at the... Actually, no, we can solve the puzzle already. Right, there are two puzzles with the drawing room, I should say. One of them has to do with this painting right here. You'll notice that this painting is of this exact room, but there is one key difference, and I'm going to give you guys like 5 seconds to figure out what the difference is yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you look right around here, right where my mouse was, that little candelabra is sticking out. If I go over here, I can pull this down. And hidden behind one of the paintings is a safe. Now, we don't know the code to the safe yet. I'm going to act as though I don't know it until... What I'm going to do is I'm going to act as if I don't know the answers to puzzles until we find the room that allows us to know the answer to the puzzle. We do not currently know the combination to this safe. So, we can't really do anything with that yet. For right now, I'm kind of wanting to go this way. Oh, hold on. Drawing floor plans. Each time you click on a door, you will draw 3 floor plans from which you must select one to draft. However, there are some items and rooms that will allow you to redraw if you do not like those initial 3 options. So like I said, most rooms have some sort of... I don't want to give up the utility. Yeah, you also can't back out of a draft. I need the utility closet for something later on. Because utility closet has a few different things here. First off, anytime you get the utility closet, turn this off. This turns off keycard systems, which gives you basically carte blanche to go through keycard rooms. You also want to turn all of these off or on, depending on what they were originally. And then I do recommend turning back on the dark room. After that, there is also this here. But again, we don't actually have the necessary knowledge to unlock that at the moment. So we're going to leave that be. Again, I know how to unlock it. I'm pretending as though I don't, so I don't end up spoiling puzzles for people. Yeah, here's what I was talking about with like locked doors. You can see that this pops up. In order to get through this door, I have to use a key. And fuck me if I didn't really want to do that. Let's do Parlor. Parlor is a fun one, though. I really do like the Parlor game. I will say, if I can pop this open again, some rooms, when you draft them, will have this little puzzle piece on them. That means that there's some kind of game in the room. And these games are very fun. It's like a little mini game as you play. So this one is the Parlor game. Involves this wind-up key, and if we read this, we will figure out what the rules of the game are. Dear Herbert, it was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate with the Oldhams this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it has been quite a while since we had been seen in decent society, and we were beginning to worry that my wife's wit had lost its charm. I have no delusions that my company is rival to hers. If I can refresh your memory, we both spent much of that evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I had mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write with the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I have included with this letter all the details you will need to share with guests should you be inclined to play this confounding game. Always your friend, M. Lowry. So, the 3 rules of the parlor game. There will always be at least one box which displays only true statements. There will always be at least one box which displays only false statements, and only one box has a prize within. The other 2 are empty. So what this boils down to is either you have 2 boxes that are telling the truth and 1 box that is lying, or 2 boxes that are lying and 1 box that is telling the truth. So if we read on top, each of these have statements at the top. So this one states all 3 boxes contain gems. We know from the rules that that is impossible. There's only 1 box that has gems in it. If we go over here, the other 2 boxes contain gems. Again, that's impossible. Only 1 box has gems, which means these 2 are lying. This one has to be telling the truth. This box contains gems. If we use our key here, we find our 2 gemstones. And the parlor game is like a really fun little side tangent thing. God damn it, locked door. This is the annoyance of coming across like locked areas, because a lot of the time they just dead end you right there. But we can cut back through the places we've already been. Of note, I should say, we are still losing steps for every room we go through, so do be careful when drafting rooms to make sure you don't end up making too long of a path. But we'll go with the spare room here just to give us more options. Don't know if there's actually anything in the spare room. This is like one of those weird just hallways. Rumpus room. I do remember this. This is kind of a cool room, and even though it does lock us out, anywhere we go we get locked out. So let's go ahead and pop this open. The rumpus room is interesting because first off, there's a ton of coins in here. There they are. You get 8 coins. So you're basically spending 1 gem for 8 coins. There is also this man, Alzara. If you come up here, you'll see popping up on the left-hand side, insert coin. And this plays you a little cutscene. After he boots up, of course.
And, as it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin. You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future. The image is becoming clear. I see a boy standing on a shore of white sand. He is looking for something he was told he would not find. I see a black cat tied to a red flag. I hear the wind blowing, but the flag does not stir. I see a door marked by a rogue moon. A door that is always locked, yet has no key. It is the door you have been searching for, yet will not find. A lost room beyond the dark waters. What you have heard here has been foreseen by the great Alzara. Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say.
Yeah, so that is the Great Alzara. It's a very odd mechanic. It basically gives you very cryptic hints as to what you're looking for. So we know now that room 46 is behind a door marked by a crescent moon. There's a few other hints in there, but we don't have context for those yet. We just know that the door we're looking for has a moon on it. And he will not activate again for the rest of the day. We can't even interact with him anymore. So it's like, it really is a until the dawn of the following day thing. He will not talk to us until the next day when we draft Rumpus Room again. But anyway, let's pop out here. We're gonna need to use a gemstone because otherwise we lock ourselves out of everything. I always hate doing that, but ooh, metal detector. So this is another thing. Sometimes you will find random items scattered around the grounds. Metal detector gives you a greater chance of finding keys and coins, and will also alert you when you're in the same room as them, which hopefully I will get a chance to show off soon. For right now, though, let's continue on. Another game. This one's the billiards room. This one is actually pretty easy, but at the same time, I kind of want to draft a dead end because I want to go that way. Getting as many dead ends as possible. Ooh, keycard. I should not have turned off the keycard doors. Because keycard is useless if the keycard doors are off. The reason I turned them off is because of another room we can find later on, the security room. You can make it so that security doors have a higher chance of spawning, and they default to being unlocked when they're not powered. But for right now, we're going to leave that be. Sinclair, I just wanted to write you a quick note thanking you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt with Lord Evanson, whose peculiar personality somewhat made up for your own absence. I also got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages since I've seen the billiard room in the house. I was beginning to suspect you had retired the floor plan. It was well worth the wait, though, as I always enjoyed your mathematical puzzles and appreciated that I didn't need to know the rules of darts to play your variation. Hoping your health improves shortly. KL. That's another thing with this game, and it's something I haven't fully pieced together. There's a lot of like lore in the background, a lot of proper names. KL, I'm not sure who this is referring to, but if I can piece it together over the course of the series, all the better. For right now, though, I think we're gonna have to do chapel here, which sucks because every time you enter the... Oh, hello, we got a ping on the metal detector, which usually means there's something in the pews. There you are. So that's what it looks like whenever your metal detector goes off. It just like pops up in the top right and like beeps as you get closer to what you're looking for. I kind of want to draft the lavatory here, because I don't want to use my gem here. I took the nook, damn it. Misclick. Oh well. And also you can kind of use the metal detector to see if there's anything of worth in these chests. Hello. A journey noteworthy. As you continue on your venture, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observations. A pad, scrap of paper, or perhaps most fittingly, a journal will prove to be an invaluable tool you will not regret having beside you on your journey. And again, this is why this game is so cool. I don't know if this is a hint when the font of the wording changes to like cursive more than like blocky text. Everything in this fucking game is a hint. The paintings are a hint. I said it before, but these like refer to a later on thing. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I remember how like this one. Yeah, I do. Okay, I remember what this one is. But yeah, it's insane the level of detail they put into this game and how many puzzles it actually has hiding. Also, luckily we did find the key, so we can continue on from the parlor. Let's grab the closet here so we can get some more items. Another key and a coin purse. Which, the coin purse is nice if you can get a lot of coins, which unfortunately we're giving away a lot of coins. Because every time you collect 3, it allows you to get an additional 1. But anyway, let's head back up to the parlor, see what we can find beyond that locked door. Running. Here we go, back in the parlor. The electricity box is there. Pop the door. Okay, we can't do the boudoir, can't do the lavatory or lavatory, otherwise we get locked out. We have to use a gem here. Which brings us into the kitchen, which is interesting for the fact that in here you can buy food to get back. You know what? Let's add the morning room to the draft pool. You can buy food to get back steps, basically. Some of the food has special effects, others are just like a lot of extra steps. The one that I bought was bacon and eggs. It gives you 10 steps and also adds a room called the morning room to your draft pool, which is a room that's not normally in the draft pool. It's complicated pool stuff. Basically, every room can only ever be drafted once unless you get a very specific room called the mirror room, but assume that you can only draft every room once. Those rooms go into what is known as the draft pool, and whenever you draft a room, you pull 3 random rooms from that pool. One other thing is you'll see here today's main course glazed salmon. This refers to another room that you can draft called the dining room, which when you reach the 7th rank, which if I open up the map, when you reach this like 7th row here, or maybe it's this row. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, when you reach this row right here, a meal is served in the dining room that gives a lot of steps when you eat it. Okay, well, we found the dark room, which is actually very good for me. Because when you go into the dark room, first off, lights flicker out. That happens the first time you enter the dark room no matter what. The way you get the lights to come back on in the dark room is you come back over here to the breaker box, and you flip on the dark room. Oh, and I guess also while we're here, flip that on. So now we can get past keycard doors. So now if we rotate back around, we can see in the dark room. Also, we're gonna metal detector, and I don't want to step back through in case those... Okay, it wasn't here. Apparently there's more in here. Oh, broken lever. Could prove to be useful. I forget what that's for. Like, the thing I usually use it for is, like, crafting something later on, which that is something else you can do. You can craft items together. But for right now, there's a few different things here. We can't currently do anything with this because we're missing an item. But he has a bunch of different pictures here that you can look at. I don't know if any of these really have hints other than, like, this one. I know this one has a hint. Like I said, we just can't see it yet. Yeah, there's like a lot here. There is also the note. Print notes. H.S. Herbert Sinclair has requested yet another print of her ladyship. I assume for one of her rooms in the West Wing, as well as an enlarged print of the enclosed photograph. He said the last development was too dark to keep an eye on that. So keep an eye on that. So this is Herbert's wife, I assume. And then this is the thing he wanted a clearer picture of. Just some standard servants. Don't know what this is of. But that looks like the office. Which, that actually does give a slight hint with this drawer being open, which I'll show when we find the office later on. For right now, though, I think we're good to continue. Let's see what's down here first. Again, I kind of want to draft the lavatory just so we don't end up pulling it again. We just get it out of the way. I don't even think anything can spawn in here. It's just a bathroom. It's a red room in the sense that it's a full dead end, full stop. Okay, here's a security room. We unfortunately cannot draft it, so we have to draft East Wing Hall. Something else the game hasn't quite explained yet, but is important. Here's the dining room, by the way. Rooms are more likely to be locked as you continue north. It's an actual thing in the game. I haven't, like, found the thing that tells you about it yet, but... I wonder, can we do... Yeah, no, that's not a combination we can do. I forget what all the combinations are. Oh, hello, Sledgehammer. I think I found one of them. Hold on. Because we can do sledgehammer plus lever. Oh, no, we need something else for that. Is it sledgehammer metal detector? Nope. Sledgehammer, broken lever. Okay, yeah, we can't do that just yet. We need something else. I believe it's like a power source in order to do that. But there is one other thing here. And it's this right here, this music sheet. Stones cut by hand and letters wrought do spell our secrets carved from thought. A message read is often lost among the bold words spoken soft. The note is read, the letter is not. So message here is in bold, and it speaks about bold words. So there's probably something here. Just saying that for now. I know what this is later. We're remaining blissfully ignorant for the sake of audience. There's also this stone here. Take note of what letters on it. For right now, though, do we have the nursery? We do not have the nursery. So let's just draft the bunk room so we get rid of another dead end room. Also, this gives us 2 gemstones. So yeah, honestly, that was worth it. That was that was definitely worth it. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else in this room. 'Cause every room in this game has like some kind of puzzle to it. Even the ones that are just like straight dead ends that have nothing. There's something going on in each of them. And that's what makes this game so fucking cool. Alright, but anyway. We're running a little low on steps, but it should be okay. There's the morning room, by the way. 2 gems, and tomorrow you start with 2 gems. There are some rooms in this game and some effects in this game that carry over effects to the next day, this being one of them. It's a very nice little feature. Hello, an upgrade disc. This is very important for later on, and I'm now really hoping that we find security room again. Oh, hello, shovel as well. Okay, so we could begin some more stuff. I've never actually been in the morning room now I think about it. The Baron of Mount Holly names nephew provisional heir. In the blue hours of Wednesday morning, the venerable Baron of Mount Holly, Herbert S. St. Clair, passed away at the ripe age of 73, after a prolonged struggle with a heart condition that had been kept from the public eye until his final days. Esteemed as a pillar of society and renowned for his penchant for crafting puzzles, he was a source of endless fascination to our readers over the years, not least through his popular column Baron Bafflers, which he penned for over a decade. The particulars of the announcement of his successor yesterday has left his devoted followers with one less intrigue to ponder. The reading of his will precipitated a flurry of speculation, for his niece and presumptive heir, the much beloved and lamented Mary Matthew Jones, has been missing, presumed deceased, for the past 6 years. Mrs. Jones, better known to our readers by her pen name Marion Marigold, enchanted the hearts and minds of children across the realm with her literary creations such as The Red Prince, Swimbird, and A New Clue. Her disappearance remains one of the age's most tragic mysteries. With her whereabouts unknown, it was Marigold's own son, Simon P. Jones, us, a lad of but 14 summers who was yesterday named the provisional heir to the sprawling Cinca Empire. However, this vast inheritance is accompanied by an undisclosed contractual condition. Given the Baron's well-known penchant for tests of mettle and wit, it's clear that the young heir from Reddington, distinguished in his own right as last year's County Science Fair runner-up, faces an extraordinary challenge in the coming weeks. More to follow. And you can't read any more pages of that newspaper. Yeah, again, this is, like I said, I've never actually been in this room. This is neat. I like this. It's got a nice vibe to it. Alright, but anyway. Well, fuck. We got like one more Hail Mary we can do, but I don't think we have the steps for it. Because there is the possibility of getting over to the courtyard now that we have a shovel. Just cycle back through. Yeah, we're gonna make it to the chapel, or not chapel, but the other place I can't remember. The courtyard. We're gonna get to the courtyard, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to get back. Even if we do, it's not like we're going to be able to do much with it. So, yeah, now that we have the shovel, you'll see these dig spots mostly in, like, green rooms. They have just random shit in them. Also, that coin purse went off there. A few unimpressive pebbles. Yeah, I was hoping we might be able to find a key here, but I think that means we have to call it a day here. Unless I'm missing something. Actually, I am missing something. We have the sledgehammer as well. Which the sledgehammer is significantly more simple. It just allows us to bash chests open. So we bash that. Get 3 gemstones for our trouble. Fortunately, it is looking more and more likely that we aren't going to be able to finish up today. Because we're going to get 2 steps back from coming in here. Bash this open. Damn it, that had a key in it too. Yeah, we're going to come up just... Actually, hold on. That coin might have saved us. That coin might have kept this run going. Because we get just barely into the kitchen where you can get the sandwich. 15 more steps. And we keep going through morning room. And now we have a key to unlock this door. Oh, I think I have to go conference. Well, no, let's go dining room. Because sometimes there's food in the dining room. Doesn't look like there is this time, though. And that just sealed our fate. Yeah, this is the unfortunate thing about Blueprints. It is a sort of a roguelike puzzle game. So sometimes you're just going to be stuck with nothing you're able to do for the day. And you just end up with a layout like this where you've gotten halfway but you're just out of resources. But for right now, and it sucks because we couldn't find anywhere we could use this upgrade disc. And you have to abandon everything when you leave. Because there's 4 places. I just now realized the place we got the upgrade disc was the morning room. One of the other things we could have drafted with the morning room, I believe, was the lab. That's another place you can use the upgrade disc. But regardless, call it a day. We're going to do one more day just so I can show off a little bit more of the game. There's a specific room I'm trying to get on the left wing to make things a little simpler later on. Yeah, prosaic bed and breakfast. I believe, yeah, because each of these tiles means something different. I believe this one means you drafted the morning room and the bedroom. So, regardless, we should be good to go. Save and continue. Oh, I should say, there's a specific room I'm trying to get on the left wing, and we've already seen the other room I'm trying to get, which is the, yeah, you see, by the way, in the top right, we start with the gemstones. I want to get the breaker box, which is something we need for the room on the left side. Den right off the bat ain't bad. Because this always gives us a gemstone too, which the gemstones are very valuable. They give us a lot more flexibility in what rooms we want to draft. Give me that utility box, or breaker room, whatever it's called. Turn off the keycard system. Switch all these off, switch that on. And then if we ever draft the dark room, we can come back here and turn it back on. Well, shit. I want to keep my options open, so we're not drafting a dead end on this side just yet. Alright, let's grab pantry so that we curve to the left here. Get some more steps back. Some coins. And now we're in territory where we could get the room I'm looking for. So we're going to draft the chapel, which I know is going to cause us to lose coins. It's all good. Sometimes I will say there's also like stuff sitting on the pews. That's why I always check whenever I come in this room. There's another puzzle with this room. There's actually quite a few in this room, but we'll get to those later on when they become important. For right now, let's grab the storeroom so we have a key just in case we need it. Yeah, making my donations to the church. Alright, like I said, we want to stay on the left edge here, so let's draft the West Wing Hall. Use a key. Damn it, give me something, game, come on! We'll draft the Nook. This gives us another key. The problem is, the further north we go, the more likely rooms are to be locked. We're gonna grab the parlor here just so we can turn back over. Which again, everything resets with this, so the parlor game is slightly different every time you do it. It's actually really cool. If you look now, the boxes have different labels on them. The black box contains gems. This box and the blue box are empty. All three boxes are empty. So the black box has to be lying, which means one of these two or both of them are true. This box and the blue box are empty. The black box contains gems. So both of these can be true at the same time if the black box has gems. And one of the things with this game is if you can't decide 100%, you just look at, okay, what is something that is 100% true? It's a situation where all three boxes are correct. I'm trying to think of how to explain this. A situation in which you know for sure which boxes are being truthful and which boxes are lying, you can from there determine which one it is. So for example, this one, we know for a fact black is lying. Black is lying, so that means that the other two could be telling the truth. One of these could be a liar. So we look at them individually. Black box contains gems. Well, with what we know about the black box being lying, this could be entirely true. The white box, this box, and the blue box are empty. Again, this could be entirely true, and these aren't mutually exclusive. The black box can contain the gems, and both of these boxes can be empty at the same time. That's what I mean when I say, if you know for sure one of them is false and the other two can happen at the same time, assume that they do. Fuck, another locked door. Well, I tell you what, we're making a beeline for the top, aren't we? Corridor is always left unlocked too, so that means let's draft the hallway here and pray to God that this side isn't locked. Holy shit, it wasn't. Okay, aquarium to give us more options. Please don't be locked. Damn it! Oh, hey, compass. Compass is weird. It makes it so that you draft floor plans that take you north toward the end goal up here. God, both of these are locked. Damn it. Well, that was a bid for nothing. Well, I mean, I guess when we get keys, again, that's going to be useful. Let's grab the courtyard real quick. Hello, sledgehammer, by the way. I'm kind of speed running here a little bit. Kitchen leads us to more rooms we can draft. Always check to see if there's food in here. Doesn't look like there is this time, though. Let's do secret passage, and the reason I'm going secret passage is because I'm wanting this to lead to a green room. Because there's another thing we can do on the right edge, and I'm hoping that's what this... God damn it! I forgot that even if you get the secret passage, the door beyond the secret passage can still be locked. Oh, that's a kick in the dick. Alright, but anyway, let's head back through here. We covered a lot of ground. We need to find a key ASAP. That's locked too. Okay, this is not good. We've basically blown through half our steps already. Luckily, I don't think anything from the Grand Hall can be locked. You can also get the dark room, but I kind of want to get the bedroom here, because bedroom sometimes has a chest. There is also this, but I don't think there's anything with this that's a puzzle. Could be wrong. Again, so much of this game is like reading into very obscure hints. So I can never say 100% whether or not something is a hint or not, but I don't think that one is. There is also the commissary here. You can buy quite a few useful items here. The only problem being I'm broke boy at the moment. There is also a couple of things here. Effective the first week of December, payroll for all live out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically. As your attendance will no longer be registered at morning roll call, it is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals on the estate. 2 of these terminals can be found at security, where the punch clock used to be, and in the laboratory. Any questions or concerns regarding this process should be directed as always to our house manager, Mrs. Babbage. And then terminal password got scratched out down here. I know what it is, but we're going to pretend we don't until we get the magnifying glass, which is what we need to read it. And then... Oh, I just not realized this. Okay, so I can kind of explain some of the puzzles with this painting thing now that we have this. So you see this is pointing to with, this is pointing to without. Again, I'm going to give a brief moment for you guys to figure out the puzzle here. 5, 4... 3, 2, 1. The puzzle here is each of the pairs of images, which every room in the house, no matter what you draft, will have a pair of paintings in them, except for the antechamber. One of them is like, let's say this is a 4-letter word. The other one's going to be a 3-letter word with one of the letters from the first word removed. So if you look here, we have bath and bat. Bath minus H is bat. So that's what it was meaning with the with and without. And again, I know the puzzle behind it. We're not going to go further into it. There's also this note here. The commissary will be closed from days 12 to day 16. Sorry for any inconvenience. And finally, there is a sale, 50% off all items on day 20 and 21. So there's a lot of long-term planning that goes into this game. Okay, here's security. We need this room, actually. Let's grab that real quick. Yeah, we also get a cutscene for the first time when we enter the security room for the first time. So... yeah, I think this cutscene is sort of just your character realizing the sheer scale of what he's gotten himself into. Because there are a lot of rooms on this manor. Yeah, the awe on his face. You can see each of those are actual rooms within the place as well. Like, I recognize some of them. We haven't seen some of them, but I recognize most of these. Yeah, like that right there was the storeroom. Archives. That's the music room. Every single one of them is a room in the house, and that right there is a security room. He's seeing himself on the screen. So that's kind of what we've bitten off here. This is also something else. So blue memos are true, red memos are lies. So you can see each of the colors of paper. If we come back here, there's 2 written over here. Keycard access security doors are more likely to appear in the higher ranks of the estate. Likewise, as a redundant security measure, normal doors in the estate will also be more likely to be locked as you progress north. This is on blue paper, meaning that this is 100% true. Until further notice, the antechamber has been unlocked and access levers are no longer required to grant entry. This is on a red memo. That means it is false. The antechamber has not been unlocked. It is still locked, and you still require an access lever. This is the same notice that we saw in the commissary, and then this is another set of puzzles. If you want to figure it out yourself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, clock, lock. So the letter there would be C. Alright, anyway, let's move on a little bit. I do kind of want to draft Dark Room here, but at the same time, let's draft I keep wanting to say Laboratory. I don't know if that's the actual correct pronunciation. Also, I don't know why I ever walk into the laboratory. It doesn't have anything in it. Well, ain't that a bitch. Okay, let's draft the boudoir just so we have somewhere we can go. So the boudoir does have one distinct puzzle in it, and that is, if we come back here, this safe right here. Requires a 4-digit code if I'm not mistaken. This puzzle can be solved without ever leaving this room. If you don't know it and want to figure it out yourself, I suggest skipping ahead about a minute. If you don't know what it is, or you do know what it is and you just don't care if I spoil it a little bit, again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The hint over here is this card here. You can see the safe that they have in the back of the boudoir in the picture. Now, what does this scene remind you of? They were very uncreative with the safe code. The safe code is Christmas, 1225. And you can find in here a gemstone that will always be there, and this red note. You can see a number 4 on it, which means that there are likely more than just this note. At the very least, there is a 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Herbert, I was distraught to learn that you have chosen to omit the details of our dear Marion's disappearance from the public record. It is no surprise to me that the royal court would want this embarrassment kept as quiet as possible, but I am shocked that you have so little regard for your niece that you would play the king's scullion and stoop to kissing the foot that treads upon her memory. She gave up her family, her fortune, and her life, and all you can do is think of your name. Having never had a family name nor fortune of my own, I cannot personally condemn you for faltering in your commitment to make the same sacrifices she did. But for the love of God, do not, by that same display of weakness, clutch your petty assets so tightly that you undermine the cause that she forfeited everything to further. Our countrymen must be made aware of the price she paid, and must be made to see the color of the flag she flew as she rode into the darkness of 100 nights. To deny her story is to deny her life. If through your silence you bless this betrayal, our son Simon, your heir, will inherit a fortune of lies and will spit upon your grave when he learns of your cursed foolishness. Needless to say, we will not be coming for Christmas this year. Daniel. So there is clearly some darkness going on in the background of this story. Again, I don't have full context. I never really dug into the lore too much of this game. I'm tempted to get that closet, because we can always go back to the entrance hall. Let's do the closet. And hope for a key. We got a key. That's what I've been waiting for. Unfortunately, I think that's a day late and a dollar short. I don't know if we can get back up there. If we can, it's going to be fucking close. It's going to be off the back of that bedroom. Come on, buddy. Just keep your legs going a little longer. Because I'm still wanting to get that room on the left edge that I've been talking about. 7, 6. Come on, come on, come on. Fuck. I have to go with this one, and I don't even know if we're going to be able to buy the key we need. Yeah, a single key costs 5. The lockpick kit costs 10, which just lets you... It gives you a chance to get through anything. That sucks, though. Because we only have the sledgehammer. We haven't really come across any chests. So I think we have to call this one a day, too. We're out of rooms we can get through. Fuck. This is the problem with this game sometimes. Sometimes you really just have to brute force your way through and figure out another way around your problems. Yeah, west-facing shopping center. We got a lot of shops, commissary, kitchen, locksmith, and most of our rooms were on the west side of the house. That's what they're referring to whenever they do those, like, special names. I think we'll do one more day. This is the problem with this game. I keep constantly telling myself, one more day, one more day, one more day. It's addicting in a way, because it feels so good to, like, start unraveling the mystery at the heart of this thing. Alright, same as before. Goal is just hug the left side and hope we find what we need. Which we're gonna... Normally I would grab Parlor here, but we're gonna grab the Nook. So we have a key just in case we need it. Chapel just to maintain a path up. We don't have any coin to give, so the chapel really does nothing to us. Of course, the chapel gives us coin to lose the one time I don't have any coin. Do I take the breaker box here? No, we take the storeroom here. We need supplies before we can think about going after what I'm after right now. Fucking chapel. We'll take the closet. Get some more items. Oh, hey, ivory dice. Yeah, so these are very handy. These basically let you do what the drafting room lets you do. If you don't like the 3 rooms you roll, you can re-roll them. Very handy to have. Also, I thought I saw like I could interact with something. Could have sworn I saw I could. Oh, god damn it, I exited the room. Oh, distraction is a bitch in this game. Because sometimes that just makes you lose money. Alright, but anyway. This gives us the most options. Let's draft hallway here. And like I was saying, doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked. This is on red memo. They aren't more likely to be locked. They're as likely to be locked as any other door. Still one to hug the left side, so let's grab the kitchen. Then we can grab parlor here. Don't think there's anything in the kitchen for us this time, especially considering we're still pretty poor. We got plenty of keys though, and now we can get some gemstones too. Hello, apple. Okay, this box and the white box are both empty. There's a second wind-up key in this, so white box is clearly lying. The statement on the white box is true. Blue box is obviously lying, which means black box is the only one that's true. This box and the white box are both empty, which means the blue box is the one that has the gems. That is another thing. I should say the gems can be in a box that it's lying. Like, that's entirely possible. It's not likely, but at the same time, like, keep that in mind. It is always a possibility. Gladly take that den, because that gets us over to the edge again. Grab a gem, and I just now realized I've been sounding like Dr. Seuss. That's what I've been looking for, and unfortunately, we don't have the breaker box yet. So, it kind of sucks, but at the same time, this is the room I have been sort of searching for the past 3 days. Because this will allow us to get something very important for later on in the runs. I don't think there's anything else in here aside from this here. Christoph, this is the 3rd time this month you and the car have been gone when your services were required. I don't care how long you have been driving for his lordship, your absences must be accounted for, Mrs. Babbage. don't think there's anything else in here of note. Just the keys and then the thing we need to do later. Oh, well, there's the breaker box. Fucking perfect. So, same thing as usual. We switch everything around. And then, now the garage has power. So if we travel back over here, you'll see that this is now green. Hit that. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the outside. This is what I was after the entire time. I've been pushing for the left-hand side of the house, because if I travel down here, and granted this still takes some footprints. There's two things. First off, we can unlock this gate so that we can get back to this area on later days. Don't ask me why our character... Yeah, the west gate has been permanently unlocked. Permanent changes do not reset each day. This is one of the few ways you can make permanent progress in the game. But yeah, don't ask me why he can just reach his hand over that gate and unclip it. But regardless, that's not what we're after. What we're after is... Come over here. This is not the 46th room, but it is a special outside room. These are a unique pool of rooms that you can't normally draft into the house. Every one of them is unique. Every one of them has a different effect. So, for example, root cellar rooms in your house are more likely to contain dig spots today. Tool shed has two special items. These are like the sledgehammer, the shovel, stuff like that. Or hovel, special floor plans, instead of costing gemstones, the rare ones that cost gems, take away from your footsteps instead. This one's very powerful if you have some later upgrades. I don't, so we're going to leave that be for now. Instead, we're going to grab the tool shed and get exactly what I was wanting. Sledgehammer and shovel. So with that, if we head over here... We are back outside the main hall. Like I should say, there is a whole outside area you can explore. I'm not going to explore on this. Actually, there is one thing I'm going to do over here while I'm just standing around. Because if I come out here to... We just come down this road here to where we're camping out. There should be some dig spots around here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember where's exactly the dig spots are. The campsite. Due to the rules set forth in your great uncle's will, you are not allowed to stay in the castle or the estate overnight. Luckily, however, your scouting skills have been put to good use to fabricate very respectable off-site sleeping quarters. I'm trying to remember where the dig site is. There's one around our campsite. I do remember that. I don't remember where it is. I do remember there being this orchard up here, which we can't currently get into. That's what that picture was, if you remember, in the dark room. Where is it? There we go. I think this is it. Yeah. This has a secret floor plan in it, and I know I went a little bit out of order with this. Technically speaking, you aren't supposed to know about this yet, but this room is so amazingly powerful that I need to get it. The conservatory is very, very strong. It allows you to adjust the rarity of 3 random floor plans every time you draft it. If you don't know, adjusting rarity in this game affects how often you pull rooms out of the room pool, and it can fucking break this game like a saltine cracker. Yeah, add to the draft pool. I'm trying to remember if there's any other dig sites or if it's just the conservatory there. Which I can show you later on. I think I remember the puzzle related to the conservatory, like how to actually find it. but for right now, I just wanted to add it to the floor plan list. It's such a good room to have that it's a struggle not having it anymore. So let's go ahead and head back in. Hopefully we can draft it today, actually. That'd be very nice. Get that ball rolling a little early. Security is always great to find, though, because we did already shift the rarity of, or we did already shift the default position of security doors. Keycard system. Keycard system settings. We set security level to high. Confirm setting, and then we change the offline mode to unlocked. Confirm setting. Now the keycard doors are far more likely to spawn, and whenever they are not powered, they will default to being unlocked. Let's just grab the pantry, just so that we can get some more coinage and some food. Kind of running low on steps. Well, let's do a guest bedroom here. I mean, now we don't even need to fucking bother with it being powered down. Not that I'm really in a rush to head back there. We've done the goal for today. Like, this run doesn't really matter. I kind of already locked myself out of a lot of places. So, if we don't get anything else out of today, I will still consider it a... Ooh, the coat check is pretty nice, though. Yeah, this is going to be a short day. It's going to be a shorter day because we got what we needed. But the coat check allows me to bank items. So let's bank the... And I should say, be careful with the coat check, because the coat check is kind of a bastard. If you leave something in the coat check, that item will no longer spawn in the house itself. Instead, it will be forever locked in the coat check until you draft coat check again. So we're gonna leave the key card here. Regardless, though, very short day today. Man, we drafted a lot of dead ends. Fucking hell. Regardless, though, we're gonna call it a day from there, and then we're also gonna call it a day for the recording. So if you enjoyed this episode, if you want to see me play more Blueprints, I am more than happy to play more of this amazing game. Like I said, I'm not going into it blind myself. I've actually beaten the game before. I have gotten 100%. So like I said, there's still some mysteries to the game for me. But I have gotten to room 46. I've already done it before. I know how to get there. I know the secret puzzles behind getting just to the antechamber. So, if you want to see more of this, if you want to see this as sort of like a pseudo guide series, I'd be more than happy to play that. Beyond that, though, thank you all so much for watching this one. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, give a comment, subscribe. I don't really have any puzzle games on the channel, so if you want to see more of them, let me know. I'd be more than happy to play more of these. But for right now, though, thank you all so much for watching, and have a good day.